Good morning. Well, I'm going to try a different angle today for our sewing, and we'll see how this works out. I am working on putting together an X and Plus block here. So this is just going to be a little sew along with me. I'm doing this X and Plus block because I'm going to be teaching the star table topper tutorial at our guild meeting on Wednesday at our open sew. So if that's something that interests you, if you want to come to our guild meeting, just let me know. I'll send you the address and you can come at our open sew as a guest and watch this technique. And what I've asked everybody to do is to bring a block, any size. This block is going to finish out at 12 inches when it's stitched in. So I have used charm squares for these corner pieces, and I just cut them 5 inches square. And then I used a 2.5 inch piece to snowball the corners of these blocks. So we've got that part done already, and I've got my iron heated up over here. I brought everything so I'd be ready today to just bust it out here. Okay, now we're going to do the plus part of this block right now, and then I'm going to show you how to do the star points on it again. Okay, now first things first, these are 2.5 inch squares. These are 3.5 inch by 2.5 inch. If you are using a directional fabric, be very careful in how you're cutting your fabric so that you get what it is that you're after for your plus, okay? But these are 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. This one in the center is 7.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Okay, so we're gonna just stitch these pieces together here. I'm getting over a bad cold again. I had 2 right in a row and they were not fun. All right, so if I sound a little hoarse or out of breath, I am. Oh, I hope you had a happy new year. We just had a very low-key day. John was getting out of the hospital and he had to have some gallstones removed, and I got sick with a cold right after that. I'm sure it was just the stress of him being in there, and so it was nice to be home and just have a low-key day. I didn't even really cook. I think I made us a big bowl of soup, and we just had a very low-key day, which is okay. Now I'm going to stitch the other piece onto the end here. This is such a fun block to make, the X and Plus block, and there's video tutorials up for you if it's something that you want to make. You can make it for any occasion, any holiday. It doesn't have to be a holiday even. You can just make it. And okay, so we are pressing to the inside, to the dark fabric there. And if your outside pieces are dark fabric, if you've used a dark background, go ahead and press to the inside just like that, okay? We're going to press to our plus piece. So all our kids live in California, so we didn't really get together with anybody over the holidays. Now, these are a little extra, and I will trim them down when I'm ready. Okay, so we're going to start from the center of the block and stitch outward. That way we have a nice match in the center. Okay. Also, when you're laying this block out, make sure you have laid it out on your board exactly like you want it to lay out in your quilt. And we're going to do this. That way you won't have bits and pieces turned around cattywampus. Okay. Oh, I'm still not used to the scissor cutter on this machine. It's nice. I'm getting used to it. Okay, so we're going to have that little extra on the top. We're okay with that. We're going to press this towards the plus again. So okay. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to match it up in the middle, and then we'll sew to the outside. Okay. Oh, kitty girl, you're just so talking today. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and we'll stitch that. We've stitched that, and now we're going to press it. Okay. So we've got that, and we will trim off that excess, so don't worry about that. I just want my plus to come out a little bit longer than it normally does. So same on this one. We're going to go on, go on, go on. Nothing for you up there. That's girl. Go lay down. Go lay down. Okay, and then we will press this towards, press it towards your plus. There we go, towards the inside. Okay. All right, we've got those two put together. Now we're going to take and we're going to turn this top piece down onto our plus. We'll line our edges up here. And for those that are new following us, I don't like to speed through my videos because a lot of people are just learning how, and they like to see the process. So if you're anxious and you want to get to the meat of the process, then you go ahead and you speed through the video if you want to. This is for folks that are just learning how and want to see the step-by-step process, and I'm okay with that. Okay, again, we are pressing towards the plus, okay? So we've got that. Now we're going to go ahead and stitch this piece on to the bottom. But before we do that, we're going to take this piece and we're going to turn it over. And you've seen me do this before if you watched the other video. We're going to line up along the edge of that seam line right there. And we're going to make a little mark right out here, okay? We're going to do the same thing on this side, and this is going to let us line our plus up perfectly in the middle, so we're not cattywampus. If your plus is off, it's going to really show in this block, okay? So this is the one important part. Now we've got that laid out. This is how our block is going to look. We're going to flip this part over and we're going to line, we're going to scoot right up along those edges, and we're going to line up that plus. And then just stick a little pin in there so that you've got it right where you want it, okay? And this will pay off in spades because you just will have such a pretty little block when you're done. Okay. I don't like to sew over my pins. I know on a lot of the new machines you can do that. It just goes against my grain. That's my personal foible, and that's okay. All right. There we go. Okay, for all intents and purposes, our block is finished. We've got our X and plus there. Okay, I'm going to just give this a quick little press. Okay. Now, I'm going to trim off these little excess pieces on the edge here. Okay. And same here. Okay. So there we have our block all finished. Now we're going to make this into a star block. How do you do that? Well, we're going to take two 5-inch pieces of fabric, 5-inch squares, okay? And we're going to cut these on the diagonal. I'm going to use a longer ruler, I think, because I want to get across that diagonal completely. Okay, so you can create a line if you want to, or you can just put your ruler on there and just cut it right in half, okay? We're going to have 4 of these because we want 4 points on this star. Okay, there we go. All right, closed my rotary cutter for those that are concerned. A lot of you know that I am bad about that. Okay, first thing you want to do is take your 2 points of your block, the 2 ends, and fold it in half, and you just want to make a little finger crease right at that halfway mark, okay? Now I'm going to put a little line here with my marker. You don't have to. You'll be able to see your finger crease. And you're going to do the same thing with your star point. We're going to fold it. Let's fold it right sides out so it'll sit in a dip there. Okay, so get your points lined up. Don't pull on your fabric because it is on the diagonal, remember? But you want to find that center, make a little finger crease, and if you can see that finger crease, great. If you can't, it's right there. Okay, we're going to line those 2 up, and we're going to tuck a pin right there. And then we're going to put a couple other pins. Now you can use clips if you want. It doesn't have to be a pin. I like pins for precise work because the fabric doesn't slip. And sometimes if you're not careful, you can get a slip with the clips. Okay, so we've just kind of anchored that down with some pins, and now we're going to stitch right along that edge, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. Okay, now we're going to repeat this process on all 4 sides, so you'll get to see this again. You're just going to press this to the outside edge, okay? So I will do that right here real quick for you. This iron does not get real hot. I do love this iron. It's cordless. It's the cordless Panasonic. It does not get super hot. And it will cool off quickly, so if you leave it off of your station, your anchoring station, it will cool off quickly, but I love it for when I'm on the long arm. It lets me take it over to my long arm and press without having a cord dragging behind me. So I do love it for that. Okay, again, make your little crease. I will just put that. I'm using the Soline Air Erasing pen. They do not sponsor me. I am not sponsored by anybody, but I do love that pen and I use it all the time. Again, make another crease, folding this piece wrong sides together. And then you're going to go ahead and line your creases up, tuck a pin in those areas there. So I've got lots of plans for this year. I am going to be doing a lot of fun things, so we'll have lots of interesting video tutorials for you. I have a Christmas quilt that I've been working on that I'm going to take out and just work on that this afternoon, and I'll just do a sew along. You can hang out with me while I work on that if you want. And it's not anything I'm teaching, it's not my pattern, but I do want to get it finished up. I have ordered some boxes this year off of Amazon, and I will put a link for those boxes because I think they're pretty cool. They're just a 12-inch by 12-inch box, and you can put your projects in it, and you'll have a great, I'm going to get this wrong sides together. There we go. You'll have a great organizational tool for yourself. And what I'm going to do is I've ordered 12 of them, and I'm going to put 12 of my projects that are unfinished. Yes, I have 12. I have more than 12. But I'm going to put 12 in there, and then I'm going to number them, and I'm going to just pick a number each month. I saw this on another YouTube channel, and I really like that idea. So I'm going to put a number on each one of them. I'll pick a number each month, and that's the quilt or project that I'm going to work on that month, and I will attempt to get them done in that month. Just is going to depend on how much long arm work I have. And I've got 4 quilts right now in the hopper for clients that I need to get done, and those will go on the long arm this week. I kind of took a week off between Christmas and New Year's to just decompress and get myself well, and I think that's important sometimes. So, and these were not rush quilts for folks, so I'm grateful for their patience. So you can see our star coming together here. This is really enjoyable when you're making these. And I've made these really tiny. I've made them bigger than this. You can make them any size you want. Just adjust your star points. I like the 5-inch block. You could use a 4 if you wanted a smaller point. You could use a 6 if you're doing a bigger block. So just, kind of feel your way through that process and see what it is visually that looks good to you. And I like the 3.5-inch on this plus block better than the 2.5-inch because I get this little extra bit here, and I like how you don't have to line up these seams. You don't have to worry about matching anything. It just all comes together for you and gives you that beautiful effect, the plus. Okay. I've got a friend who's doing her Valentine's Day X and Plus quilt, and it just is looking so, so cute. I've got several blocks done on mine, and I'm toying with the idea of alternating them with a different block, but I haven't made up my mind yet. The charm pack makes about 10 blocks, so you just need to think about how you want to do that. If you want to get a couple of charm packs so you have plenty of blocks, or if you want to swap them out for something in between, like an Irish chain block or an O block, or X's and O's would be fun. So that may be an option. We'll see. Part of the fun of quilting, I think, for me anyway, is taking a pattern or a block or whatever you see and making it your own. It doesn't have to be the same fabric that the person used when they created their quilt or their block, but it can just be what you want. Okay, so there we have it, the X and Plus block. And now what we will do is we will put batting underneath this, and the batting needs to extend about, I would say, 1 inch beyond your points, because if you do any quilting at all, you know that it will shrink up underneath. It will pull together as you quilt. And then you'll need also a piece of backing fabric that comes out 1 inch past that. Go ahead and just cut yourself a square of fabric that's big enough to accomplish that. In our class this week, I am going to teach you how to quilt it, and then I'm going to teach you how to trim it back, and then how to bind it. So our class will start at the guild, at the Rigby Quilt Guild up in Rigby, Idaho. It will start at 2 o'clock. It's at the Senior Center in Rigby. So if you're local and you want to come out, or you're visiting and you want to come out, come on out. It'll be Wednesday the 8th of January, and we will be finishing our star blocks. So if you want to bring your sewing machine, a ruler, some type of a marking device that erases, it could be a friction pen that erases with heat. It could be one of these air erase pens, whatever you want to mark with. But you'll need a marking pen, and you will need some sharp scissors, your rotary cutter, and a mat if you want to bring that. Sewing machine thread. Make sure if you're bringing your sewing machine that you pack your sewing machine pedal with it. Oftentimes, it's funny, people will throw their sewing machine in and then forget the pedal, which, does you no good, right? So let's go ahead and we'll get this all put together this Wednesday, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. You'll go home with a finished table topper. Okay, so get it done to this point if you want, and you'll be ready to sit and quilt together. I have another block that I made last year that was in my stash, and I'm going to take this and put points on it today. I'll use smaller points for this one. It might be a 3.5 or a 4. I'll see what I think looks best, but it'll be of this background fabric, and I'll star point this block, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a table topper from this as well. I need to get some matching thread for these green bits here, and I will pick that up tomorrow when I'm at Daydreams Quilt and Sew in Idaho Falls for our Monday Fun Day. Annalie has lots of thread and notions there if you need anything, and she also has wonderful fabrics. So Annalie does not sponsor me. I just love to go into Daydreams Quilt and Sew. I've been going to her shop for the whole 10 years that she's been in business. I think we started going out just right after she opened, and she is so sweet and so kind. Anyway, if you like these video tutorials, if they're helpful for you, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really helps us out, and we do appreciate you. Okay, and we'll bring you some more, lots more tutorials. I have some fun things planned for this year. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks for following. Bye.